Was sitting on the dock of the bay. That's where I'd like to be sitting today. But, I'm sitting somewhere nice. We got the sun shining through the windows, and I got some special guests in the studio. I am joined by Amanda Hegge and Marnie Anderson. Good morning, you two.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yep. We were just talking about your name, and I almost messed it up, Marnie.
Yeah. Tough one, but
we're getting through it this morning. So it's been a while since I've had the library in here.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah. We missed it. Kayla, I know, came in the fall, but we were, I can't remember. There was something that I had going on that I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So, thanks for having us.
There's always something going on.
We're always glad to be back.
Yep, and I can say that thing. I haven't seen you since last year.
Yes, it's true.
I can still use that one into February.
For a little bit longer.
So let's get into some things here for listeners who may not know. What is the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library? I know we talked a little bit about it before, but let's get into it.
We have talked about it a little bit before. It is a pretty amazing program started by the queen herself, Dolly Parton. Mm-hmm. So she started a program in 1995 for the kids of her community. Mm-hmm. And it is a child gets a book every month from birth to 5 until they turn 5 years old. And it was the point of the program was to help the kids in her community achieve academically and grow up and to be successful. And so we're hoping to bring that here to our Whitehall community.
Yeah, that is so great. And I know we've talked about that before, but that's one thing about Dolly. She was my first crush when I was a little boy. So
I mean, she's amazing. You just look at her and you're like, you are incredible.
And all these celebrities we hear about, as they get, there's always some sort of controversy. And I don't remember any with her. So
no, not ever. Mm-mm. No,
I don't remember either. None.
The queen of country, we'll call her. So that is really great that you guys are getting part of that. And why was this program something the Friends wanted to bring to Whitehall?
Well, because when Amanda mentioned it, and we had this wonderful donor that was going to be able to start it for us, and we are a support group. We're not the library board. We are a support group for the library and for the whole community and families, and it was just a wonderful program that would help the kids so much. Mm-hmm. So there we go. Perfect for us.
It lines up both with the values of the library and with the Friends group. So.
Yeah. And anything that gets kids interested in reading is a good thing.
Yes. So, yep. Exactly.
So you get the kids, they'll be waiting for those books and that excitement. I remember as a kid the book fair.
Yeah.
Things like that. The excitement, so you can bring that to them too.
Get a free book.
Getting something in the mail, addressed to you when a kid. Even getting something in the mail now that's not,
junk.
like a political ad or junk. Yeah, whatever kind of junk it is that is like a good thing is so delightful.
Yeah.
It's a really nice thing.
Yep. So who's eligible for this program here in Whitehall?
Yeah. So the boundaries of the communities that we serve at the Whitehall Library, so it's not just the city of Whitehall, we serve essentially like the outline of the Whitehall School District. Yeah. And so, town of Lincoln, town of Hale, anybody who falls within the geographic boundaries of the Whitehall School District.
Okay.
And so
Northfield, York, all the way
Northfield, it goes all the way to Northfield, York, town of Pigeon, a little bit of town of Lincoln, but you would want
halfway to Boulder.
It's important to know sometimes we have kids who come to school in Whitehall now that don't live in the school district, but it is, and we would love to serve everybody, but that
we have some sort of boundary.
We have to set a boundary.
Do it.
So if you have a question, we do a vetting process when people sign up, but we do have a searchable map. So if there's anybody who has a question about whether or not they are eligible or a family member is eligible where they have a new baby, they can contact the library directly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, having that map too, because you can just look down. Okay, yep, there's where I am. I'm within the borders. That's so easy.
It was kind of hard for us. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library Foundation asks you to define it by postal code, and we're like, that's not really
that's pretty hard
for us. But the school helped us a lot by sending us that map, so it was great.
Oh, that is so great. And I probably know the answer to this, but I'm asking anyways. Why is early access to books so important for young children and families?
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to say it over and over again. So the thing that always blows my mind is that 90% of the physical development of the brain happens before age 3.
Wow.
Yes, which is I mean, a little scary in some ways.
So there's no hope for me then.
No,
you're
no,
saying?
there is hope. There is hope. You can always
called
get better.
lifelong
lifelong learning. Okay.
Yeah, but reading in those years is super critical because the more words a kid hears, the better they are to recognize those words when they're reading. When their brains are developing, they develop they're supercharged, developing all these little neurons. I'm wiggling my fingers because it's like a whole bunch of threads
All
connecting
working
all the
together.
time.
Yep.
I'm sure you know all of this because you're a teacher too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I taught art, so I
Yeah.
know how the drawing part
Yeah.
works.
Oh, yeah.
And the graphic part of a book is really super important, too,
is.
because there's so much imagination in there. If you ever read to your kid, like I used to at night, we'd read the same book, and pretty soon they're doing everything that you were doing with your hands or
Yeah.
reading all the words that aren't even there.
Yes. Yep.
You know, but they can read a book back to you if you read it enough times. They'll read
Yeah.
it back to you as soon as they can say the words.
And all of that is so important when you're learning to read. And people learn a lot of things by video, but reading really is the foundation for any sort of success, whatever your definition of success in life is. I would when people ask me, they're like reading. Sometimes they're like reading. And I say, well, when your kid goes to buy a house, I want
They
that
better be able
kid
to
to
read.
sit in. I want that kid to sit in the meeting with the person who is reading the title to you and know how to ask questions when they don't understand a word or they don't understand the terms, because those are legal documents that most people don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's knowing that you don't understand is part of the learning and the reading process.
and
So
as
sorry, I get excited.
No, that's
And as a older member of the community here, when I was in grade school and preschool, we didn't have a lot of books. I mean, our tiny little library in the one-room school, it had the same books over and over. They weren't even our reading level. They were old and boring. And now I read the title of some of these books, and I'm like, oh, you guys, these books are so great. You don't know how great they are. You got real books.
It's
Nice one.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of people don't, realize that, in this newer age, that there was a time where we didn't have all this access,
Yes.
and how lucky they are. And, like Marnie was saying, you reading to your kids at night, where
Oh, yes.
you read that same book, even just taking 5 minutes every night. We did that with our kids.
Yes.
You'd read either their favorite book or a new one, just short stories. It really gets them interested in reading, and it helps them with that, just that imagination, too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
That's
great.
why when you read the books, the little kid books and the pictures, you just put a whole lot in there and imagine it and say, and then that cow was over there. And then pretty soon the kid's going like, no, you can't turn it.
Yeah.
Where's the cow?
We got to talk about that some more.
Yeah.
We're not done.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And so what kind of books do children receive through this program? Is it fun books, learning books, all the above?
I mean, to all of the above.
All
So I am always amazed. So I do a lot of work purchasing books, both for our library. And, a good quality book that is a hardcover that's going to last a while is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But kids receive hardcover books, so age appropriate. So if you are sending books to the babies, you get the cardboard books that are like
Or
the
even the
chunky
little
books.
plasticky ones,
Yep.
probably. That,
Yep.
Yeah, waterproof,
Yep.
so they can
Yeah.
eat them.
Yep. And then as they get older, you get the hardcover nice picture books. They're beautiful books. They are vetted by early childhood professionals. And the themes of the book are love of reading and learning, respecting your community, but we're talking about the little engine that could, and we're Clifford and all of the classics that are really wonderful books.
Yep. And that's, like you mentioned, Clifford. That's something close to my heart. When I was a young kid, I remember Clifford. And that was one of the books at the book fair that I couldn't wait to get.
Yes, the book fair.
Yep. That was one. So,
yeah.
and as my kids grew up, PBS had the Clifford cartoon, but they had
Yeah.
the Clifford books too. So as a parent, it just warms your heart to see those kids fall in love like you did
Yep.
with those things. So.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Little Engine That Could.
Yep.
It's been around forever, I
Yep.
think, and it's still a favorite.
And everyone still knows that story, don't
Yeah,
they?
you bet.
Yes. Yeah. So, what role do the Friends of Whitehall Community Library play in making this program possible?
Well, of course, we have the donation to start this out, but it's not self-funding by itself alone. So the Friends are kind of like the group that is taken on helping to fund and pay this. But we're not going to do all the funds ourselves. I mean, that's pretty much not possible. So we're setting up in the library probably a where people can donate money. Like, say your child just have a new grandchild, and okay, they can't read yet, but you can still, fund their whole year's worth of books right there, and then you can keep on doing that. Because I look at my grandkids and I go, oh, they have so much stuff already.
Yeah.
And thank heaven they have books, but they have so much stuff already. I'm not going to give them any more stuff. I want to put some money out there. Well, I can put part of it into the Imagination Library for them, get them some more books, because that's good, and then I can put some in a savings account for later when they need it for college.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great idea.
So the friends help with the funding, and then we also have volunteers who help with the data entry. I mean, we hope we are, at this point, we're not overwhelmed with data entry, but we hope that every child that is 0 to 5 in the Whitehall School District is eligible to join this program, and we hope we can fund every single one.
Yeah, let's hope so. And so if people want to give some money to that program, how would they do that? Can they just send some money to you guys? And I know this one wasn't on our questions.
No, but that's an excellent question. So we do, I think we still have an online donation platform on our website from the building, from when we were building our library building. You can write out a check to the Friends of the Library. It's Friends of the Library. You can stop by the library. We accept cash. And if for some reason none of those things work, we could figure out another way. People do make gifts at the end of the year. So any of those things you should consider. The one thing that I want to get out there, and I'll say it a couple of times, is the price of these books is amazing. It's $36 for an entire year of books for a child. So that you're like, that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
So like if you consider that if you go to Books A Million or somewhere, a hardcover picture book is $15. A board book is $8. So
amazing deal.
We help fund the administration of this, and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library does fund a huge chunk of it. Yep. So it's a dual part. We have to help each other out to make it happen. And
this program, you're working within the Whitehall Community Library, but how does this program connect with the work of the Whitehall Library?
So I mean, that's the foundation of what we are. So books. Books, providing access to information, education, recreation. That's our mission, and so. Getting books in the hands of kids is one of our favorite things.
Yeah. And getting books in the hands of the kids keeps them off of screen time. They learn how to read something that's not on a screen, which is, in my opinion, the best way to read.
You have to have all of it. It really is. I mean, we can't get rid of screens, but we know through brain development, many studies that learning off of a screen is just
you have to do
more
it
important
for work.
Especially for those early years.
And if they're doing it for work, and they do a lot in school too on screen. So a real tangible book in your hand. That's my favorite.
Without that, my wife had done the, what do they call that? A Kindle before. She got one for Christmas, and she tried that. She's still like, nah. I'd rather just have it in a book that I can open up. She reads like 3-4 books a week. She's crazy that way.
She's an incredible reader. That's amazing.
Her and my daughters. I mean, that's really, they all love to read, and it started with reading the books to them at night. I think, so.
Yes, I think it did. Modeling is a huge part of getting kids to want to learn to read.
And we talk about that modeling. Why is this program a program like this especially meaningful for families in rural communities? I know we kind of almost just answered that a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, it takes a village to raise a child. So sometimes you find people in rural communities are economically disadvantaged, but and this helps people build their home library, but it helps everybody build their home library. This is not for, I want to stress, this program is for absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter who you are and how much money you have or what you do in life. We want everybody to have access to the books.
Still pick up that book and sit down with your child and read it, at mealtime, at bedtime especially, I think is optimal time to read to kids. But, and it brings the family closer together and keeps the unit together. And
And I think we all know kids want to read the same book over and over at night, and sometimes it's nice to if you don't have to go anywhere to get the new book, it comes to you in the mail.
Yeah, I can
And it gives
sneak
the
a new
parents
one in.
something
You're
different.
right. It gives the parents something different, even though that repetition is so important.
Yep.
Making sure that you have a little diversity in there helps in the reading in your library.
Yep, exactly. And what does it mean for families that the book arrives directly at home at no cost for them?
Kind of just hit that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I think we got answered
Yeah.
that.
I mean, because we have little free libraries around town, and the kid books disappear really, really fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
But to have it come to them with their name on it, and that this is my book.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's my book.
Yep.
Yes.
It instills
And
some
I don't
pride.
have to take it back.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about those pesky, I got to get it back to the library at times.
Yeah, exactly. And it relieves, I don't know, everything is so expensive right now. I mean,
true.
I feel like everything is expensive all the time. And to relieve some of that financial burden of, or I hate to say burden, but the cost of being a
Yeah.
parent is wonderful. If we feel good doing it.
Yeah, so if families would like to sign up for this, how do they go about doing that?
So there is a form online. There will be a form on our website, or they can come to the library and fill out a paper copy and hand it to us directly.
Okay.
And both of those things we will just check to make sure that the family lives within the geographic boundaries of the White House School District. And then if for some reason they didn't, we would touch base. But hopefully that won't, we won't
Yeah.
have trouble. But and then the books, it's like an 8 to 10 week turnaround time before you
Okay.
start reading the books. So there's a little bit of a lag. So
Okay.
come sign up now, so
Yep.
you get start getting your books.
If you got a
as soon
brand
as you
new
can.
baby, 8 to 10 weeks, you're just barely going to be awake.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
That's right.
Yeah, well, is there a deadline, or can families enroll anytime during the year?
Anytime.
Okay.
You can enroll anytime. You don't have to start at birth. You can start, if your kid is 3, you can start enrolling. I mean, if you're 8 to 10 weeks away from turning 5, that probably might be too late. But come get a library card.
Yeah, definitely. And let your kids play in the library.
Yeah, come and play in the
see how many
library.
books there are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But there's no deadline. Please come and sign up anytime.
Yeah. Oh, and like you said, bring the kids to the library too, because if they get used to coming there, they get excited about that. And they're like you said, you can scroll online all day long, but there's something about picking up that book, going
Yeah.
through all those shelves, and finding that one special book for yourself.
And
Well,
it gives
and-
your eyes a break.
Yeah. And I just think, like, we live especially in winter, we're getting to a time where it's like you're looking for something to do during the weekend. You can always stop at the library. Like, the library is a place to play. I always tell people and it's a free place to be. We have free coffee. Come, not for the kids. No coffee for the
They can
kids.
have the cocoa.
Yeah.
They can have hot cocoa. But come hang out.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're running short on
Oh,
time.
sure, sorry.
But no, that's okay. Just before we go, is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know about the Imagination Library or how the community supports it?
You can always make a donation to sponsor a kid for $36 a year. Tell everybody, if you know a person who has a little baby, tell them to come and sign up. Who has a little kid, tell them to come and sign up.
And if $36 seems like a little bit much for you, because it might be for some people, that's okay. If you want to sponsor $5, it all adds up. And even if you don't sponsor somebody, you could still enroll your child.
Yes.
That's great. Well, this has been some great information. We're going to help spread the word for you. We'll have this video up to share with all of our Facebook friends. And Marnie and Amanda, thank you so much for being here. You guys have been a pleasure to have in here on a Monday morning with all your cheer and smiles.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to get back into the music right after this short break.
Feeling better is about feeling all kinds of things. You want to feel healthy, sure, but you also want to feel heard and understood, valued, even, loved. That's what we